So, the Boston Celtics just beat the Brooklyn Nets to go up 3-0 in this series. And so this series is basically over and the Nets season is over in pretty incredible fashion. And I think the first thing to bring up is that Kevin Durant was terrible today, and he really has not had a good series. I mean, he finished with 16-8-8, might be the worst 16-8-8 performance of all time. Never looked comfortable, had 5 turnovers, felt like he had 15 turnovers. And I think, it was such a bad performance that I was wondering if there was something wrong with him, whether, he's sick, or it's an injury, or what it was. One thing that was definitely happening is that the Celtics were playing great defense on him. Tatum did a great job on him all series, but also the other Celtics defenders bringing help on him, playing physical with him off the ball. They really never let him get comfortable. They never let him have a clean catch. They never let him play one-on-one. They were always bringing extra guys, always protecting the paint, always making things difficult for him. And I think that really, really worked for them. And I think the Celtics defense is really, really scary. Kyrie Irving also wasn't good today. 0 for 7 from 3. He only had 16 points too. And I think similar thing to Kevin Durant, Marcus Smart did a great job on him. And then, having help defenders there, having the two bigs, whether it was Horford for the majority of it, but, also having Tice and Robert Williams in game 3, and having other guys like Grant Williams and Jason Tatum who can protect the rim. They really smothered the Nets defensively. They really smothered the Nets with their defense, and I think it was really impressive. I think the next thing to bring up for the Nets is that they really didn't get anything out of Curry, Mills, and Dragic today. They hit a couple of late threes when the game was already over that will pad their stats, but they're invisible for the most of the game. And when you're like a 6-foot guard, if you're not providing anything offensively, you're going to get hunted defensively. And that was the case. At one point in the game, with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they had a lineup of Durant, Blake Griffin, Mills, Dragic, and Seth Curry. And you just can't expect to win a must-win game 3 against the Celtics when you're playing that lineup. It was so unserious. Blake Griffin was out there, which was pretty surprising when he came in. And then he hit 2 threes, and he was saving the Nets season, except for the fact that he was giving it all back on the other end. So that was pretty crazy. And it's not really their fault that they don't have any depth. Durant played 46 minutes, and that's also a part of his struggles. He's been playing 40 plus minutes a game for a month and a bit now, with having to get into the play-in, and then playing that, and then coming against this tough Celtics defense. But the Nets, they are missing Joe Harris, which people forget. They're missing Ben Simmons. They're not a whole, but still. Some of the rotations, some of the players they had to put out against a Celtics team with hardly any weaknesses. They don't really have anyone you can target. One person that you can target on the Celtics team was Peyton Pritchard, and they really didn't do a good enough job for that. Pritchard played 12 minutes, had 10 points, was 2 for 3 from 3, and he was guarding Seth Curry, and Seth Curry was just standing in the corner and watching Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant isolate. And I think the Nets should have done a better job of getting Peyton Pritchard involved defensively to hunt him with Durant. I know it's tough. The Celtics have a lot of long defenders, but still, you can do a bit more than that. So I think, the Nets didn't hunt Pritchard. They didn't hunt Tice enough. They're too happy to go one-on-one against the best Celtics defenders for a lot of the series. And that just really, really didn't work out for them. And overall, Durant was really, really bad in the series. Irving in game 2 and 3 was really bad. And I'd say the only bright spot was probably Bruce Brown, who's been very good in this series. But even so, if Bruce Brown is your best player, you're not going to beat the Celtics. So, I think a lot of problems with the Nets. If we talk about the Celtics, I didn't feel like they were great today. I thought they're good in game 1 and 2, and today they're pretty good, but they definitely weren't at their best. But still, Tatum 39 points. He was pretty good. I feel like he had a better game in game 1. But it was just pretty easy for him. Like in the fourth, like maybe 5 minutes left, there was just a time where he just cut and got an easy dunk, or he was getting stuff in transition. That was way too easy. I feel like the Celtics dominated in transition. Yeah, so I just feel like a lot of Tatum's shots, a lot of his points were just really easy and bad defense. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. I think he really came to play today. 9 of 16, 23 points. He had a stretch in the fourth when the Nets were hitting threes, but down the other end, he was just hunting Patty Mills and Blake Griffin, and that's what you have to do against the Nets, and it was really working out for him. As for the rest of the team, I mean, yeah, like Horford, Smart, Grant Williams, they're all great defensively. Robert Williams came in today. I don't really remember. He only played 16 minutes, but, good to get him some run coming back from injuries. But just overall, I thought the Celtics did a great job defensively. If you want to look at a game plan to stop the Nets, they stopped the two stars. And apart from that, they didn't really let anyone else get too much. Like Bruce Brown is the only guy who really played well. And then Dragic in game 2, obviously, also played well. But still, like, you'll take that every day of the week against the Nets. So, yeah, the Nets, their season is done. I feel like Kevin Durant, Kyrie, will definitely be disappointed because they could have played a lot better. Even if they did play better, I still think the Celtics were going to win this series. And obviously, the Nets, this wasn't the year for them. They had a ton of injuries, a ton of drama, and then Simmons and Harris not playing obviously really hurts. But still, I feel like they still should have put up a little bit better of a fight than this and not be down 3-0. Yeah, but anyways, credit the Celtics, great defense, and they're looking really, really strong right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, leave a like, and subscribe to this channel for more NBA content.